Welcome to another edition of the Afternoon Idol. I'm Andrew. I'm a certified mindfulness meditation coach, and I'm a software programmer, a very proud Star Wars geek, I guess. I am many things. What I am not is a licensed therapist, social worker, or mental health professional. What we'll do in our time is to play around with a little bit of mindfulness meditation techniques. What we've been offering is, or we've been exploring together, or what I'm talking about is a contrast of efforting on one end of the spectrum and then dropping effort or non-effort on the other end of the spectrum. And so there's a bit of a long game when we're using a non-efforting technique. And so we can pair efforting as a way to help us develop our practice. In the Unified Mindfulness System, which is what I'm certified in, you are looking at things from a skills-based perspective. So it's not a mystical schmystical kind of thing, although you can look at it to a degree, but the skills contribute to what may be a fully engaged and present view of something that maybe is described as a mystical experience. And so it's these three skills that we're training whenever we're doing a technique: concentration, clarity, and equanimity. We're looking at leveraging those skills. Those skills are active in non-effort. So you could also say that when you are on the cushion, you're aware of concentration, clarity, and equanimity, whatever is available to you, the CC&E. But you, in essence, are developing those skills so that you can bring them off the cushion and into the world to help you show up the way that you want to show up in the world. So we'll play around with these efforting and non-efforting. The idea being, as you're training up your concentration, clarity, and equanimity, there's more of it naturally available to you when you let go of techniques. So I'll offer, in some cases, we've been doing noting practices. Our noting style practices is our something portion. And so one thing to just offer when you're considering these techniques is, Shinzen likes to say, if you're feeling racy, then try do nothing. If you're feeling spacey, try noting or do a noting practice. So it's one way for us to look at how we might use the knowledge we get out of playing around with these two efforting and non-efforting experiences. And so we're also dialing back that effort in what I'm sort of playing around with, or a term that I picked up from a punk rock band called the Minutemen, which is this idea of being able to jam Econo, or that they played a sort of stripped down music, and that was their sort of way of describing what they did, was that they were coming from this Econo perspective. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff, but not as much as I normally say at the top. If you have any questions or comments, or reports, I will do my best to respond to those. Thank you so much for joining. There was a question about if I have a bell amongst these things in this room, and that maybe I should look at beginning our sits with a bell or ending our sits with a bell. So feel free to chime in if you agree with that suggestion, and I'll endeavor to have one of the bells in this house available to me. I kind of dropped the bell because I was trying to be, I don't know, be secular. But yeah, so I have a cool bell all the way from Japan, so we can always use that. But in lieu of a bell, we'll go ahead and bring together our concentration here as an intention to begin. And in that, I invite you to adopt a posture that is upright and dignified, however that might translate to you. One that helps you be both relaxed and alert. Just a quick awareness of if there's any tension in the body. seeing if just an acknowledgement or nod or noticing of that intention or that tension may cause it to relax. Ensuring that your belly is freely moving and you can breathe from your diaphragm, or I should say, we're endeavoring to have diaphragmatic breathing, so belly breathing. And as those three wise sages from the five boroughs, the Beastie Boys, implore, our tempo will be slow and low. So we're breathing in through the nose. That helps us slow down the process, and it helps us breathe lower into the bottom of the lungs. So breathing in slow through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And breathe lower into the lungs. That's one way for us to cue the nervous system that we're in a spot where we can relax. And then to begin just seeing about having a light awareness of the body. So we can pay attention to the body in a number of different ways. So you might choose to pay attention to the gravity or the weight of the body in the seated position. Or you can use that more wide angle or lantern quality of your awareness and the whole body. I often use feeling sort of the edges of the body. We can use a noting technique, and optionally we can use a label. If you want to use a label, you can use feel. But for today, I would encourage you to see if you can drop the label. Just note. Now the attention is going to be pulled away by sounds. In my environment, there's a neighborhood. So my attention is drawn away. And there's an opportunity to say, attention's been drawn away. The recognition of that, and then bringing the attention lightly back to whatever I've chosen. So we explore just loosely holding the body in this wide aperture of awareness, or being in contact with the weight of the body in the position. So explore that for a bit. So the way can be pulled into areas maybe where there's contraction or pain or holding. And that's okay too, right? There's an attitude of being okay or operating from this allowing. So notice that, and then bring back the awareness to where you were, knowing that you're going to potentially notice that, bring the attention back. So, depending on where you're at today with your concentration and your clarity, this light, bare bones way of paying attention may be more difficult, or it might be exactly what you need. So, just a reminder that the CC&E shows up differently each day. We can always cut ourselves some slack. Good. So, just to keep the choose your own adventure quality, but if you're curious to just drop that technique, go ahead and drop it. Allow your attention to be free range and do nothing. Sometimes when we drop our technique, when we let go of technique altogether, you can kind of feel there's an urge or a voice comes online that's like, we should be doing something. There's got to be something I should be doing. Or a desire to direct or try to conduct awareness in some shape or form. So you might think of do nothing as one way to draw that out. Begin to see where that comes from. So there's a long game, a long view to the approach of do nothing. And if that's not there, then good. Just coast. So if your eyes have been closed or your gaze has been dropped, I invite you to open your gaze and connect to your surroundings, taking your time and being gentle. Thank you for joining me for this brief or middle practice. So just Shinzen's lines are usually very pithy and they're meant to be sticky and that you'll remember them. So he'll use things to try to make it so that there's something you can pick up from that. When Jeff Warren talks about being your own mind-body DJ, it's also an expression of what Shinzen's offering. So Shinzen's way of looking at what technique you might pick up to meet your body, your nervous system where it's at right now is, I'll repeat one more time. So if you are feeling racy, try do nothing or do nothing. If you are feeling spacey, try a noting practice. So that helps us a little bit maybe orient to the contrasts that I've been playing with in these guided sits. So what that in essence means is that there may be a way for us to meet our current experience in a way that's kind of in between those two things, or we begin to play with how much structure do I need to stay in contact, or how can I have structure and just keep letting go more and more until I'm in this sort of almost non-meditation yet still meditation stance. So that's a little bit, it's way more in the deep end than probably I am willing to or I don't even know all the insights in that direction. But I know that in my practice that is a direction that I'm heading. So all right, I will see you same meditation time, same meditation channel tomorrow. And thank you so much for joining.